Okay, if you look right here, you can see that I've installed the disc brake setup on our Buick, and it looks really, really nice. Now, the problem that we have, okay, and I'm going to put that light right there, is if you look right here, you can see the shock. Okay, whoops. You can see the shock right there is mounted in between the spring and upper and lower control arms. And then, of course, it bolts up here, right there. Now, as we walk over to the other side, okay, now we're on the left-hand side of the car. We got the brakes. I got to redo this brake line here. Of course, it's got to be pointing up in the air. That's no big deal. But the owner was complaining that the suspension was bad, so I told her I'd take a good look at it. And everything on her car looks really nice, except for this shock right here. If you look right in there, let me get it. Okay, and I'm going to come down here and look at it. And you'll see what I'm talking about. If you look right here, you can see where the shock has literally busted out of the lower control arm. And there's a bolt that holds the shock on. There's part of the shock. And over here on this side, okay, it's just ripped out. That's ripped out, fucked up, screwed in the fucking ass situation.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Okay, now we're on the left-hand side of the car. We got the brakes. I got to redo this brake line here. Of course, it's got to be pointing up in the air. That's no big deal. But the owner was complaining that the suspension was bad, so I told her I'd take a good look at it. And everything on her car looks really nice, except for this shock right here. If you look right in there, let me get it. Okay, and I'm going to come down here and look at it. And you'll see what I'm talking about. If you look right here, you can see where the shock has literally busted out of the lower control arm. And there's a bolt that holds the shock on. There's part of the shock. And over here on this side, okay, it's just ripped out. That's ripped out, fucked up, screwed in the fucking ass situation. And what the problem is, okay, what the problem is, this is a 1955 Buick, so you can't just go out and purchase shocks and, you know, over at your local, Napa or auto parts store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove one of the shocks, and I'm going to take it with me to the Napa parts store. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to go ahead and take the shock with me up to Napa, and I'm going to match it up with a shock that they have. A later model shock that we can use on this car. What we'll do is we'll measure the length of it when it's in all the way and when it's out all the way, and then we'll measure the diameter of everything and the spring rate and the shock rate, and hopefully we can get some good, strong gas shocks for our car. There's my phone. We'll be back. Don't fucking go away. It's not worth it, okay? Alright, what you're looking at right there, you're looking at a pair of brand new shocks in the box, and you're also looking at a 1955 original shock. Okay, I don't know if that shock's ever been changed out, but you can see what situation we have. If you look at it right here, okay, it's all beat up to shit and looks like crap. I mean, you know, they had bolts and washers stuck in between it trying to keep it all together. Now, you can't go to your local auto parts store and buy these. Okay, it's pretty much impossible. The only way you can get them is through the internet or a specialty company such as Cantor Automotive. Okay, now Cantor is in New Jersey and they specialize in vintage antique suspension. So to buy these shocks from them would probably cost you $100 a piece, and that would be for the hydraulic shock, not the gas shock. So this is a very good lesson, okay, if you're working on a vintage antique mobile, fucking old car, and you want to get shocks for it. What I did, I went up to Napa Auto Parts, okay, and what we did, we went ahead and closed the shock all the way. We measured from the distance from here to here, okay? Then we opened the shock up all the way, if you notice it opens up. And then we measured from the distance from here to here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? And that looks like that might be a gas shock. So this has been replaced before at some time. Who fucking knows when, but it was replaced, and it's a very old shock. I can't even believe that it was even riding on that one shock, because it wasn't riding on nothing on the other side except the spring. And then we found out what kind of bolt pattern is on the bottom of it here, see? And we measured right here. We got in the index book, okay, and we found out that this is an LX style mounting shock. We went through and we found the right measurements. And what we came up with, you're really going to be surprised. Okay, because I'm going to pull one of these out. Now this is a KYB shock. This is probably the best you can get as far as gas shocks go. There's my phone. Let me grab that real quick. At least see who it is. Southwest 1. 8648. Okay? Thank you. Okay, there's a lady looking for some sandpaper. See how nice Pete is? I'm a fucking directory service here. I'm a fucking guy that's, you know, helping people out every way possible. What the fuck's up with that shit? Okay, so what we did, back to our story here. Okay, we went ahead and cross-referenced shocks through the reference book with our measurements that we had, this, that, and the other. And what we came up with, if you look at that, wow. Does that look the same or what? Okay, we got a 10 times better shock here, okay? Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's the exact same mount, all right, basically, all right? We will make that work, believe me, okay? And we got all brand new rubber components with it, and guess what that goes to? You will never believe what that shock goes to. It doesn't even go to a General Motors car. It doesn't even go to a General Motors truck, okay? It's a Mopar item. It's called a Dodge truck, 2000 through 2008 front shock for a 1500 Dodge, okay, which is a half-ton Dodge truck. Do you see the situation you have? Do you see what I just did here? I saved my customer, okay, probably $25 to $40 in shipping costs. Okay, we definitely don't want that to come off. Okay, I took my time out. I found the part that she needed, okay? And this is an example that if you don't know what you're doing and you want to save money, because these shocks online, this is how much they want. They're minimum $75 each, okay? Junk, all right? We got these shocks for $60 and some change, 62 bucks, something like that. So I saved her money on the parts and also shipping, and I get to get the motherfucker out of my shop now instead of next week. Now I'm trying to make money. Do you understand? So this is another example of putting your mind to it to get her done. Putting your mind to it and thinking out the process of what I got to do to get the motherfucker right. So this actually should be a better setup, a better situation, and it should fly a lot smoother. I think she's going to notice a 199% difference in the ride. I'm going to go ahead and put this shock on the right side. Then we will go ahead and repair the left side. And then, if that doesn't hold up, okay, then if that doesn't hold up, then the undesirable job of replacing the lower control arm is a must. Plain and simple. Let me get this shock on. We got to get that done. Then we're going to repair the left side, and we'll see how that fucking turns out. Hopefully everything will go smooth. This is Pete. 2008 Dodge truck. Exact same thing as a 1955 Buick. Wow. Yes, there's a little variance in difference, but it fucking works. Do you understand what I'm saying? It will fucking work. Take it easy. We'll be right back.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.